Welcome back to content. All right, hope you guys had a good day catching up yesterday on these lessons. We were talking about reckless risk after we just come off talking about comfort, the comfort zone, and growing through risk. So today we're going to talk about the difference in a healthy risk and a reckless risk. So these learning objectives for today: understand the difference between the two, recognize the reasons behind why people take reckless risks, and then develop healthy in the best interest decision-making strategies. So like we defined the other day, make sure you have this written down if you didn't. Healthy risk are things or activities outside of our comfort zone that promote growth. So remember we talked about how there's no growth in the comfort zone, no comfort in the growth zone. So that is a healthy risk. So many star qualities are found outside the comfort zone. Qualities like courage, accountability, and discipline. We talked about courage a little bit and how it's different than fear just by the way we look at it. So examples of taking a healthy risk would be enrolling in an honors level class or auditioning for a lead role in the Bravo production. Now, unhealthy risks. Okay, write down this definition. Those decisions that create danger and harm instead of growth and development. Okay, so if we're going to try out for a new role or we're going to take a harder class, all right, that is going to further our growth and development. Okay, it's not going to create danger or harm. That is where healthy and unhealthy risks differ. So some examples of unhealthy risks relevant to teens, relevant to everyone actually: smoking, using drugs and alcohol, driving too fast, and using your phone while driving. Okay, we're going to talk about a little bit why people do these things, but these are just some examples that are relevant to everyone. So there's a couple reasons, 5 actually, why people take reckless risks. So some of these potentially harmful decisions come from false beliefs, which we talked about last week. So the first reason for reckless risks are it's fun. Okay, so many things in our worst interest seem to be the most fun at the time. So does it make sense for Sasquatch to throw this boulder and hit somebody with it? What happens if he does? Who knows? But he might think it's fun. The second one, the thrill. The energy rush from reckless risk is very alluring to a bottom 80 person. Rock climbing with a safety harness can be thrilling without the risk of death. Okay, so there's ways to get the thrill that aren't putting you in harm's way, in danger. So make sure we're finding those healthy ways to still get the thrill if we're somebody that loves the adrenaline, loves the thrill. Third one, FOMO. All right, I know this is a very relevant thing for all you high schoolers. FOMO is real. Teens want to bond with other teens. No one wants to be left out of a conversation, even if that conversation's about dangerous activities from last Saturday night. So there might be a lot of FOMO right now with coronavirus going on, but know that everyone's missing out on everything. So you guys are all in the same boat. So keep people in the conversation of what's going on. We talked about this 2 days ago. OPO, other people's opinions. All right, they can stop us from taking healthy risks. They can also encourage us to take unhealthy risks. Many students make poor choices out of fear of what their peers may think of them. Okay, so we're always affected by the people around us. All right, their opinions, how they respond to us. And this is a lot of reasons why students make poor choices. All right, because of other people, not necessarily because of their values. And the last one is belief of invulnerability. Many teens have the belief that harm cannot come to them. They believe that bad things will happen to people who are older or more vulnerable, or just in general, not them. All right, this is not true. Okay, just because it hasn't happened to you yet doesn't mean it won't. So this is something that I think a lot of people struggle with is, oh, well, that won't happen to me. Well, yeah, I saw that happen to them, but that wouldn't happen to me. Okay, so make sure we're thinking about that as we move forward. So is it follow the leader? If your friend is going to stick a fork in an electrical outlet and then you see them get shocked, would it make any sense for you to go do the same thing? Okay, or would that be foolish of you to try to repeat the mistake that they just made when you saw them stick it in the socket? Okay, now related to something else. Why would students choose drugs or chemicals or alcohol even when they see the harm it does to their peers? So now, it seems silly when we talk about the electrical outlet, but now we relate it to something like this, and it doesn't seem quite as relevant maybe. Okay, so we have to think about those 5 reasons we just talked about. Okay, the belief of being invulnerable, the invulnerability piece, other people's opinions, FOMO, the thrill, and it's fun. Okay, no one's going to say getting shocked by this is fun, hopefully. So, self-restraint and self-discipline. The top 20s have the ability to analyze situations quickly and make decisions based on their own best interests, not other people's. The top 20s also have the ability to shut out other people's opinions and feelings of missing out on something that others may know sooner than them. The bottom 80s have a much harder time blocking out the reasons for reckless risks. Okay, so they can't see the difference in those 5 reasons we talked about. The top 20s can. So think of a harmful, reckless risk that you have taken or would consider taking. Okay, and then ask yourself these 3 questions about the risk. Do I have to lie about what I'm doing? Okay, this is a huge one. If in your gut you know that you can't go do it and be honest about it, is it probably a good choice? Probably not. Okay, number 2, what's the worst outcome of this situation? And number 3, can I live with that outcome? Okay, so we need to be looking further down the road, knowing that there's always going to be an outcome, and can we live with it? Or are we going to have to lie about it? Or are we going to have to justify it? Right? So think about your own, and then kind of ponder that as you go into today's assignment. So there's a worksheet at the bottom. It is due tonight. Once you get that turned in, you are done for the weekend. Enjoy your 3-day weekend.